We have Tom from Project Pantheon, who is curious about all of the UI offerings that you could possibly think of. Now, you guys are still going through your development phase. You're not going to be able to sit there and go, we know X, Y, and Z is going to exist, and we know the map is going to do this, and we know that you're going to have a compass or what have you. But they're kind of interested to see what your goal and your direction is about the UI. I mean, will there be integrated maps? Will there be customization? Can you turn things on and off? I mean, have you put any thought into that?
At this point, we can confirm that there's a Mouse Driven UI.
Yes, you can click.
No controller support.
We can quote you on the Mouse Driven UI, yes?
But I'll let Salim elaborate.
I'll elaborate on Mouse Driven UI, yes. So really, our philosophy is kind of a minimalistic approach as much as possible in UI. We don't want you playing the UI. We don't want you having to stare at the UI. Obviously, we will use the UI to give you certain cues or whatever, but really, once you play in a game, we want you to be involved in the game. If you talk about immersion, whether it's third or first person, you want to be immersed in the game and what you're doing, and not having to look up at this mini map over here to see what's coming in, or checking whatever button you have to click over here. So we're trying to be as minimalist as possible. Obviously, as systems come in and stuff like that, we have to consider things like UI elements where appropriate. As far as maps go, yeah, I think this is still like a bigger discussion for us because we could easily go the EQ route, the original EQ route, where there's literally no map. Like I said, I had fun trying to find my way around Econon last night. But because of contemporary changes, there is plenty of decent argument made for the notion of being able to make your own maps. It's another thing that Ben and I were talking about the other night, where how cool would it be if you as a player could go out and be a cartographer? There's a cartography skill. You go out and you can map areas, and then you know what? You can sell your maps. One of the cool things about Final Fantasy XI, how they handled maps, is that you could buy maps, you can get maps as quest rewards, you could find maps. When you looked at those maps, they didn't tell you the whole story. They didn't tell you. They just gave you, here's what this floor looks like. Maybe there's a hole burned in the map, which was also another cool feature. But when you went here's the path I can. Oh wait, there's a cave in here. So it didn't tell the whole story, but you had a general idea of it, and it didn't take away at all from the experience. And I think on top of just the fact that they weren't given to me, that I could either purchase them or whatever. I had to find these maps in some way, was great. If you take that to another level, where the guy you're buying the map from is a guy who actually went out and he mapped it. Like, he went to certain points, he scribbled in this little thing, and his cartography skill was high enough for however it would work out. I think that type of stuff would be exciting, and it would be an acceptable way to put maps in the game. Because really, you think about fantasy, you think about great adventurers. You really think they weren't writing maps? You didn't think that they weren't I mean, navigators on the sea, were they not making maps so they knew where they were going? To just not have a map with the ability to make a map, I think is really archaic. But I understand the idea behind it, but I think it's archaic in a sense that it's a role-playing game. The individual should be able to somehow create something, and if we can make that an immersive experience, then I think it just adds to everything.
I have to say I like the concept, but now I'm waiting for someone to deliberately create a misleading map and then
sure.
Oh, why not? That would be brilliant. The higher your skill goes, the more you can hide things. No, the Frost Giant isn't here. Cthulhu's here. I promise.
It's kind of like Dark Souls and people leaving messages saying, "Oh, this way is safe," and you go around a corner and there's a big poison trap. Yeah.
That's all part of our remote griefing system.
You heard it first. Okay.